Hi, I'm TT.
I'm probably right.
And I'm my opinion.
Welcome back, my opinion, and welcome everyone to the Hoop Scoop. Today we will be talking about March Madness. For the men, we had day 2 of round 1 of the playoffs, and for the women, we had day 1 of round 1 of the playoffs. It was way too much basketball to cover all of the winners and losers. Instead, we will cover the upsets, notable wins, and breakout moments. Starting off on the men's side, we have number 1 UConn defeating number 16 Stetson 91-52. Next, we have number 4 Auburn overpowered by number 13 Yale 78-76. This was a close game, but in the end, the Ivy League champions pulled off the upset. Do you ladies have anything to add to this game?
Yes, I do. Auburn guard Chad Baker Mazzaro.
Coaches and the players in the tournament tuck those emotions. This is a one and done. So tuck your emotions and let's get going.
Right. We also had number 1 seeded Purdue easily taking out number 16 Grambling 78-50. And lastly, I want to talk about my Florida Gators being thumped by Colorado. I knew this game could go either way. There are several.
Had a thin bench due to their center, Michael Hinderlock, going out for injury during the SEC championship game. In the second half, the coach Golden for UF was called for a technical foul because the referee blew a late whistle because his whistle did not work. This resulted in an extra 5 points for Colorado with 7 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game.
Yes, this was a close game pretty much all the way through. I know at halftime the score was 45-45, had me just sweating. It was a great game. Congrats to Colorado. Maybe next year, Gators. Probably right. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I do. And I think the coach from Florida should have also tucked his emotions a little bit and not pick up that extra technical foul.
Okay, before moving on, were there any other men's games that you ladies would like to discuss?
I think we're looking forward to the games today that we'll cover in the next slide.
Now we're going to move on to the women games that we've been looking so forward to. First off, number 1 seeded South Carolina pummeled Presbyterian by a whopping 52 points. Wow. What do you ladies have to add regarding this game?
South Carolina did what they were supposed to do. They are the number 1 overall seed, and I didn't expect anything less.
Like my opinion stated, South Carolina took care of business, putting away the Church League team, and we look forward to the next opponent for them.
Right. And next we will discuss number 3 LSU, which is a fan favorite, struggling with number 14 Rice. Any more than it already is. And moving on, we will talk about Probably Right's sleeper team, number 4 Kansas State defeating number 13 Portland. Probably Right, how did Kansas State stack up to your expectations?
Kansas State took care of business as expected. However, what I didn't expect is for their star center, Ayoka Lee, to struggle in this game. She had some struggles early. She still managed to finish with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 of 8 free throws, which really helped her in the points department. As we talked about in our Difference Makers video, go and check that out if you haven't seen it. Serena Sindel stepped up early with hitting 3 of 4 from deep, finishing with 16 points and 9 assists. Also stepping up for KSU was Gabby Gregory, finishing with 22 points. Next up is Colorado for them. I fully expect them to get past Colorado. However, they have not played Colorado this season, so it's going to be interesting to watch. I just need them to get to the round of 16, the Sweet 16.
And lastly, we have Iowa State taking out number 10 Maryland. My opinion, you have some stats on Iowa State while we play the video?
Is Stanford with Cameron Briggs, who is the center for Stanford. So with Audie going against Cameron, this is going to be a matchup to see with the 2 different playing styles and also the 2 different body styles. So I look forward to that game.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned in a previous video that we did, we mentioned that Cameron may need to bulk up a little bit before going into the WNBA. So we'll see how she does against a different size center. And hey, if she can get past this one, then I take back everything I said.
I don't.
And that's it on the women's side. Did you guys have anything else about any of the women's games that we didn't cover?
Yes, Iowa State came back from a 20-point deficit to beat Maryland. However, they cannot afford to do that when they're playing Stanford on Sunday, as well as Middle Tennessee State came back from an 18-point deficit to beat the Louisville. LSU need to put their foot on the gas. They cannot enjoy a big lead on this team because we see that they can come back from 18 points down and give LSU a run for their money.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I don't think it was expected that Middle Tennessee was going to take out Louisville. So that was a great accomplishment. And then to come back from such a deficit definitely lets you know that this is not a team that you could take for granted. Probably right. Did you have anything else to add?
Nope, we can move along.
Now we're going to talk about the games we will be watching today, Saturday. On the men's side, we will be watching number 14 Oakland take on the red-hot North Carolina State Wolfpack. Oakland has truly made a name for themselves by defeating powerhouse Kentucky, and we are interested to see how far they can go. But at the same time, North Carolina State has made huge accomplishments in the month of March, defeating several ranked teams to win the ACC championship and impressively took out number 6 seed Texas Tech in round 1. What do you ladies think we will see in this game?
North Carolina is favored by 6 points on this game. In order for the Wolfpack to win, they must keep up with their defense, as well as I think they need to throw the ball. They must throw the ball to DJ Burns on every offensive possession. So if he's double teamed, he can pass the ball back out because he have excellent passing skills, and they must slow down the game. I think one of the intangibles of the game is Diari, because due to his religious obligations, he cannot eat or drink until after sundown. The tip-off of the game is at 7:10, and the sun sets in Pittsburgh at 7:36. So we will see how they will manage his minutes in the first half of the game.
That's very interesting to know. There are people that I know that participate in, I don't know if it's Ramadan, but participate in those type of fasting during the day. I tried it before, and oof, I can't imagine trying to play basketball on an empty stomach. So good luck to him. I hope it all works out. Probably right. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, these two teams, they are even though Jack Grokey doesn't want to be referred to as a Cinderella team, but these two teams are definitely my Cinderella stories. Their stories align. If you took away the names, the headlines will kind of be the same. Just like NC State, even though they played 5 games in 5 days, Oakland played 3 games in 3 days. And with NC State playing 5 games in 5 days is really 6 games because they came right back and played another game and didn't miss a beat. If Oakland is relying on Jack Grokey to hit those 3-pointers, that may be the detriment for them. Grokey is usually a 37% average 3-point shooter. If he can manage to go unconscious as he did in the Kentucky game, then it's going to be a long night for NC State. But I'm going with the betting odds of NC State coming away with this one. But it's going to be exciting to watch.
I agree. I think NC State's going to pull this one off as well. I mean, they have been very, very impressive here of late. Another game we will be watching is number 2 Tennessee taking on number 7 Texas. Tennessee lost their last 2 games prior to March Madness, losing to Kentucky, who recently took an unexpected L in the tournaments, losing to Oakland, as well as Mississippi State, who was also eliminated from the tournaments by Michigan State. We have a feeling that Tennessee may have been exposed during conference tournaments, but what do you ladies think?
Tennessee is the 6-point favorite to win this game. Both coaches are familiar with each other playing style because Rodney Terry was the assistant coach under Barnes when he coached at Texas. The Longhorns has a 3-8 record against AP top 25 teams, and the Tennessee Volunteers is ranked number 1 in the SEC for their defense. I think one of the intangibles of this game is Rick Barnes, to see will he choke or not, because he have a history of choking in big games, especially during the tournament.
With Tennessee and Texas, are those the only two SEC teams left in the tournament?
I think you have Tennessee still left. Alabama won yesterday against
Oh, yes, they
Charleston.
did win. Mm-hmm.
And Texas A&M won against Nebraska yesterday. So if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments section. I think there's 3 SEC teams left in the tournament.
Yes. So we still have some representation there. We'll see how far the SEC can go.
Moving on to the women's side, we will be watching who other than the biggest name in college basketball, both men and women, and that is the phenom Caitlin Clark and the number 1 seeded Iowa Hawkeyes taking on number 16 Holy Cross. Ladies, I'm sure all eyes will be on this game today. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is I want Iowa to come out and do what Iowa is expected to do, and Caitlin Clark to do what she's expected to do, because they're a number 1 seed. Don't take your foot off the gas while playing Holy Cross, even because the ranking could be deceiving, as we have seen in this tournament so far. The double-digit seeds are beating the single-digit seeds. So I just need Iowa to make sure they keep their foot on the gas while playing Holy Cross.
Riley Wright, your thoughts?
I'm going to give this one a Charles Barkley guaranteed. Iowa and Caitlin Clark is going to demolish the second church league by probably triple digits number. There is no question about whether or not Iowa will beat this team. The question remains, how much will Caitlin Clark score in this game? I'm thinking it's sitting at 50, and I'm going to go under at about 41. That's my take. Absolutely.
Go
actually, we have a video up on our site right now about the over under for this Caitlin Sanity. It's what it's titled. So let's go and see what's gonna happen here. I mean, I'm ready to get on to the Sweet 16. Oh, speaking of Iowa in the Sweet 16, which is why I'm skipping the second round, we have West Virginia trying to be the eliminator of Caitlin Sanity.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did hear the buzz around that. And lastly, on the women's side, the other number 1 seeded team today, and that is USC taking on number 16 Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We expect to see Juju Watkins shine today. But it must be noted that USC ended their season with some very close wins. Ladies, what do you expect to see from Juju and the USC Trojans?
I expect for USC to come out there and prove that they are a number 1 seed. And I think it will be a blowout against Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Another Charles Barkley guaranteed. We're going to wait for USC to get by this one. We're going to see how Juju Watkins perform. Like you stated, they did play a couple of close games at the end, but they played some really tough teams. So I think that's going to be good experience for them going forward. They can make those adjustments. But yes, guaranteed they get past the number 16 Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
And we know I'm not a fan of Charles Barkley, but moving right along.
Me either.
That's the end of what we will be watching today. Did you guys have any other teams that you're looking out for today?
I want to see how UConn play against Jackson State today. Even though Jackson State is a HBCU team, they have played some out-of-conference teams such as University of Miami. And she's really, the coach, Tamika Reed, is really building that team up. And considering the fact that UConn only have 8 players to play, it should be a very interesting game, even though UConn might come out on top.
You're right. I will definitely be watching that game. I completely forgot about that one. But yes, with UConn having to make sure they don't get in foul trouble, that's going to be an interesting game to watch. And I would love to see what Tamika Reed has done with the Jackson State team.
Thank you, my opinion, for pointing that out. I'm definitely going to piggyback on that. That's a team that's a game I definitely want to watch. Um, I think I kind of missed that they were had limited number of players as well. To Jackson State, run them up and down, get them in foul trouble, and let's make this interesting.
Okay, and now I'm going to move along to our leaderboards for our brackets. On the men's side, we have coming in at number 1, a tie between Hattie Tyson, David Sports Report, and Mo Better. Coming in at number 2 is Lynn D, and then we have several with the ranking of number 5. And moving on to the women's bracket, we have Evelyn coming in at number 1, Mo Better and Hattie Tyson tied for number 2. And then we have several players that are in that number 4 ranking. And I'm seeing Hattie Tyson's name on both men's and the women's bracket. So I think this Hattie Tyson must have some information we need to know. And that's going to be it for this evening. We will see you guys back here tomorrow to recap what happens tonight in the women's and men's brackets. Have a good evening.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my